Hello, everyone. If horror fascinates you, if darkness intrigues you, and if you enjoy stories that refuse to be forgotten, then welcome to The Storyteller, where every story is told for a reason.
Three truck drivers, a couple on a road trip, and a group of college students all reported the same thing: a school building appearing on the side of the highway, only when the fog rolls in. But here's the disturbing part. When the police searched that area during the day, there was nothing there. No school, no ruins, no building at all. And the worst part, everyone who tried to enter that school at night never came back the same. Some never came back at all. This is the story of the night we went looking for that school, and why I will never drive that road again. 4 years ago, my friends and I were university students. We loved exploring strange places and filming them for our small YouTube channel. Nothing serious, just abandoned houses, empty factories, that kind of thing. But one night during a late drive back from another city, we heard a story that would change everything. We had stopped at a roadside tea stall around 11:30 p.m. The highway was almost empty, just trucks passing by and the sound of wind moving through the trees. While we were drinking tea, the old man running the stall suddenly asked us something strange. "Are you students?" We nodded. He stared at us for a moment before saying quietly, "Then don't stop your car if the fog appears tonight." We laughed, naturally, because that sounded like something straight out of a ghost story. But the old man didn't smile. Instead, he pointed toward the highway. "There is a school on that road," he said, "but it only appears in the fog." According to him, decades ago, there was a boarding school built deep in the forest near that highway. It was small, around 60 students, mostly children from nearby villages. One winter night, a terrible fire broke out in the school dormitory. The teachers tried to save the children, but the flames spread too fast. By the time firefighters arrived, the entire building was burning. More than 40 students died that night. After the tragedy, the ruins were demolished. The land was abandoned. But years later, drivers started reporting something impossible. Whenever thick fog covered the highway, they could see a school building standing near the trees, exactly where the old one used to be. Some drivers claimed they heard children laughing inside. Others said they saw figures moving in the windows. But whenever someone returned during daylight, the building was gone. Of course, as dumb university students with a YouTube channel, we were excited. My friend Hassan immediately said, "Bro, imagine the views if we filmed this." There were 4 of us: me, Hassan, Bilal, and Samir. After finishing our tea, we got back in the car. The old man stopped us before we left. His voice was serious now. "If you see the school, do not enter it." Samir laughed. "Why?" The old man said, "Because the children inside are still waiting." We drove for about 40 minutes. At first, nothing unusual happened. The highway was quiet. Then suddenly, the temperature dropped and fog started appearing across the road. At first, it was light, then thicker. Within minutes, visibility dropped to only a few meters. Samir slowed the car, and that's when Bilal pointed toward the trees. "Guys, there's something there." Through the fog, we saw it. A building, old, 2 stories, with broken windows and a rusted iron gate. Above the entrance was a faded sign. It read, "Hillcrest Boarding School." We all went silent, because we knew something impossible was happening. That building should not exist. Yet there it was, standing silently in the fog. Hassan grabbed the camera. "This is insane. We have to check inside." I hesitated. doors lined both sides. Desks were still inside. Blackboards covered in faded chalk writing. Everything looked like it had been abandoned in the middle of a normal school day. But something else was strange. The temperature kept dropping, and we started hearing sounds, soft ones, footsteps, somewhere upstairs. Samir whispered, "Did you hear that?" Before anyone could respond, we heard it, a child's voice, soft, echoing through the corridor, reciting something. It sounded like a classroom lesson. More voices joined, dozens of children, all repeating the same words together, just like students answering a teacher. But the classrooms were empty. Suddenly, running footsteps echoed from the upper floor. Fast, like children running in a hallway. Hassan pointed the camera toward the staircase. "Let's go up." I remember thinking that was the worst idea ever. But we followed him anyway. The moment we reached the second floor, the voices stopped. Instantly. Total silence again. One classroom door was slightly open, and inside, we saw something that made my blood freeze. Rows of desks and sitting in them. Children, dozens of them, all wearing old school uniforms. But something was horribly wrong. Their skin looked pale, almost gray, and none of them were moving. They were just sitting there, facing the blackboard. Then slowly, every single child turned their head toward us. At the exact same time, their eyes were completely black, no whites, just darkness, and one of them whispered, "Teacher." Then another voice said, "You came back." Suddenly the room changed. For a split second, we saw flames, fire everywhere, children screaming, desks burning, the walls collapsing. It was like the building was showing us the night it burned down. The ghostly children stood up, their bodies now covered in burn marks, and they started walking toward us, slowly, whispering the same thing again and again. "Don't leave us. Don't leave us." Samir grabbed my arm and screamed, "Run!" We ran down the stairs. Behind us, we could hear dozens of footsteps chasing us. Children laughing, doors slamming, desks crashing. When we reached the main door, it was gone. Just a wall. The school was trapping us inside. Suddenly, the entire building started shaking. The fire illusion returned. Smoke filled the hallway. The ghost children surrounded us. One of them stepped forward. Her face burned, eyes hollow. She whispered, "You saw us die. Now stay with us." Then Hassan noticed something, a broken window. He ran toward it and smashed it open. Cold night air rushed inside, and suddenly, the school vanished. We woke up outside on the roadside. The sun was rising. Our car was parked nearby, but the school was gone. Just trees and empty land, like it had never existed. Later that day, we checked the camera footage. At first, everything looked normal. The gate, the hallway, the classrooms. But the moment we entered the room with the children, the video changed. Instead of children sitting at desks, the camera showed something else. 4 figures, standing inside the classroom, burned, motionless, watching us. And the worst part, there weren't dozens of ghosts, there were only 4. Police records show that during the fire decades ago, 4 rescue volunteers entered the burning school to save children. None of them survived. Their bodies were never found, which means something terrifying might be happening in that fog. The school isn't trying to trap students. It's trying to trap people who come looking for them. Because every time someone enters that building, the number of ghosts inside increases. And if you ever drive that highway on a foggy night and see a school appear beside the road, don't stop. Don't go inside. Because the children in that building are still waiting, and they don't want to be alone anymore.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel for more interesting stories.